like cash for clunkers, you know. Where I live in New Hampshire, my neighbors, as I mentioned, they have got cars up on blocks in their yard, and this lowers my property values, you know. And here comes the government giving them money for it. I mean, what's next? You know, government giving them money for poaching ducks on my above ground pool. You know, for government giving them money to ride their ATVs through the kids' sandbox. You know what I mean? Or take an example that's been around forever: Social Security. You know, I mean that chain letter is about to run out of suckers. You know how that works. Put your name at the bottom of the list and mail a check for $1,193 to everyone who's over 65. Break this chain and you'll never be elected to national political office, right? There's no money in the Social Security Trust Fund, and there never was. Because money is a government IOU, and the government cannot create a trust fund by saving its own IOUs. Any more than I was able to create a trust fund by writing, I get a chunk of money when I turn 21 on a piece of paper. Social Security is just such a piece of paper, except it says I get a chunk of money when I turn 65. The government promises. Consult American Indians for a further discussion of government promises. Politicians lie to us, but you know, it's not like they have much choice. Because just think what the truth would sound like on the campaign stump. Even an itty-bitty bit of truth. Imagine a politician who stood up and said, no, I can't fix public education. The problem isn't funding or overcrowding or teachers' unions or lack of computer equipment in the classrooms. The problem is your damn kids. See, my job is to make fun of politics, you know, but I tell you, after 39 years of making fun of politics, I realized that I am enjoying myself about as much as a grizzly bear getting a bikini wax, you know. I hate politics. I hate politics. And I don't just hate bad politics, I hate all politics. I even hate that democracy that we have and that we have to support. Because imagine if your clothes were selected by the majority of shoppers, which would be teenage girls. I would be standing up here with my midriff exposed. You know, I mean, imagine deciding what's for dinner by family secret ballot. I've got 3 kids and 3 dogs. We would be having Fruit Loops and roadkill. You know? Politics stink. Think how we use the word politics. You know, are office politics ever a good thing? You know, I mean, when somebody plays politics to get a promotion, does he or she deserve it? You know, when we call a coworker a real politician, is that a compliment? You know, politics stink, and to my mind, true conservatism is a room deodorizer, trying to keep the bad smell of politics out of home, school, and office, including the doctor's office. Some say that politicians don't accomplish anything because of partisan political bickering. No, we want them to bicker. The 2 most frightening words in Washington are bipartisan consensus. Bipartisan consensus. That is like when my doctor and my lawyer agree with my wife that I need help. H.L. Mencken said that the whole aim of practical politics is to keep the populace alarmed and hence clamorous to be led to safety by menacing it with an endless series of hobgoblins, all of them imaginary. Actually, it's worse than that, you know, because when politicians are really dangerous is when the hobgoblins aren't imaginary. See, every politician is a Chicken Little, you know. The sky is falling, the sky is falling. You know? But then we get a situation like, say, global warming, and maybe the sky really is falling. You know? Now, you think Chicken Little was bad before? Think how bad Chicken Little would be if you were telling the truth, you know? I can hear Chicken Little's campaign speech. My feathered friends, our coops are guarded by foxes. All our eggs are in one basket. We're living on chicken feed, and KFC is threatening massive layoffs. Plus, the sky is falling. In these troubled times, who better to lead us in squawking and fluttering and running around after our heads have been cut off than the Honorable C. Little, a real chicken? See, what's bad for us is good for politicians. Politicians they're a little bit like my fellow journalists and I are in this respect. You know, a couple of months ago, I was in a shopping center, and a local TV news crew rushed in, all flustered. And so I went to him and said, "What's up?" They said, "Well, right across the street, there's this big propane tank, and it's sprung a leak." And I said, "Well, I guess this wouldn't be the moment for me to step outside and have a smoke." And they said, "Oh, please do. We worship different gods than you do." That's it. That's politicians. They worship different gods than we do. And yet, of course, we're stuck with politics. We can't have freedom without democracy, and we can't have democracy without politics. Now watching the political process is scary. It's like watching our children become teenagers. You know, not much we can do to help, and nothing we can do to stop it. You know, but we can't just declare ourselves to be apolitical any more than we can declare ourselves to be aparential. You know, I mean, we can give up on politics, just the same way we can give up on being parents. You know, I mean, here are the car keys, kids. You know, Dad stashes in the night table drawer. And why don't you take an ATM card while you're at it and see you when you're 30, you know? Doesn't work. No, I'm still a parent, and I'm still a Republican, actually, hard as it is sometimes. You know? I mean, see, long term, there's only one thing that gives me hope as a Republican: Democrats. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to do a worse job running America than the Republicans, but the Democrats can do it if anybody can. Democrats, they are the party that promised that government can make us richer and smarter and taller with a better health insurance policy and 10 strokes off our golf game, right? The Republicans are the party that promised to make the government smaller, and they succeeded with their part of the government. A number of Republicans in the House and Senate, definitely smaller. Business of politics is always more corrupt than the business of business. Yes, there are some bad people in business. My broker. Free markets can be tough, as some of you may have noticed lately. But the only alternative to the purgatory of free markets is the hell of politics. Personally, right now, I would rather be out trying to get a loan to start a chain of Michael Vick pet grooming salons than to be trusting politics to solve my problems. I mean, political corruption is a law of economics. It's a law of economics. When buying and selling are controlled by voting, the first things that are bought and sold are votes. Simple as that. Now, do our politicians, do they understand this law? Well, they should. They're lawyers, you know, and incidentally, letting lawyers write laws, it's like letting orthopedic surgeons run a ski resort, you know. I mean, it's like, let me give you an example of how politics leads to corruption. In agriculture, a business that has been up to its bib overalls in politics since the first Thanksgiving dinner kickback to the Indians for subsidizing Pilgrim maize production with fish head fertilizer grants. Last year, Congress passed the Farm Nutrition and Bioenergy Act of 2008. $285 billion worth of agricultural subsidies and price supports. $285 billion is 5 times the pre-war gross national product of Iraq. For what the Farm Nutrition and Bioenergy Act of 2008 is costing us taxpayers, we could have avoided the war with Saddam Hussein and just bought his damn country.